You barely feel the cut at first, a quick sting, a thin line of blood, a dirty blade pulled away from your skin. But you are alive before antibiotics, before emergency rooms, before modern blood tests, before anyone can see the microscopic enemy slipping through that opening. The wound is tiny. The century around you is deadly. This is a historical science breakdown of how the body can fail from infection without modern rescue, not medical advice. Subscribe to Dark Truth for more body disaster science explained like this. At first, your body reacts perfectly. Blood vessels tighten. Platelets rush to the cut. A clot begins forming like a biological plug, sealing the doorway before more blood escapes. For a moment, it looks like your body has solved the problem. But skin is not just a covering. It is a wall between your bloodstream and the outside world. Most of the time, it keeps dirt, bacteria, and microscopic life out. Now there is a door, and something invisible has entered tissue where it does not belong. You are in a village, a farm, a workshop, a shipyard, or a battlefield camp long before modern antibiotics are available. People can see the scratch, they may tell you it is nothing. And that is the first trap. The wound looks small enough to ignore, but inside your body, a clock has already started ticking. At the cut, immune cells detect damage. Chemical alarm signals spread through nearby tissue. Blood vessels widen. Fluid moves in. White blood cells arrive like guards rushing toward a broken gate. This is why the skin grows warm. This is why it swells. This is why the pain can deepen even after the bleeding stops. Your body is trying to trap the invader before it moves. In many cases, the body can win. Not every cut becomes deadly. The wound depth matters. The bacteria matter. Your age, hydration, immune strength, and health matter. But this is the version where you are not lucky. Bacteria multiply quietly in damaged tissue. The swelling spreads, the heat increases. A small red area becomes a larger, angry patch. The wound may look like the center of the problem, but the danger is no longer only on the surface. As the local battle is lost, the bloodstream becomes a highway for disaster. Your blood is supposed to carry oxygen, nutrients, immune cells, hormones, and waste products. It keeps every organ alive. But once inflammatory signals, bacterial products, or bacteria themselves influence that network, the problem can travel. The wound is not just a wound anymore. It is a launch point. Your immune system calls in more force, more chemical signals, more immune cells, more inflammation, more leaking fluid. At the beginning, this is defense. But a defense powerful enough to save you can also damage you if it spreads too far. That is the twist. The bacteria are dangerous, but the immune system trying to destroy them can become part of the threat. Now the fever begins. You feel cold first, even though your temperature is rising. Your brain's temperature control center has shifted the target upward. Your muscles shiver. Your skin feels hot. Your heart beats faster. Most people think fever is the enemy, but fever is usually not the killer by itself. Fever is the warning light. It means something deeper is happening. Infection, inflammation, dehydration, sepsis, or another internal stress depending on the case. No machine shows blood pressure dropping. No lab identifies the bacteria. The only monitor is your body. Your pulse climbs. Your breathing changes. Your muscles ache. You feel weak, thirsty, restless, and heavy. People around you may wrap the wound or press cloth against it, believing they are helping. But if that material is dirty, care becomes another biological gamble. The outside world thinks it is treating the injury. Inside, the infection may be gaining territory. People in the past were not foolish, but observation is not antibiotics. Experience is not sterile surgery. Hope is not organ support. Now the battlefield moves from tissue into circulation. Your immune system is no longer asking, "How do I seal this cut?" It is asking, "How do I keep the entire body alive while danger signals are spreading through the blood?" This is where the story becomes sepsis. Sepsis is a life-threatening extreme response to infection. The body's reaction becomes so widespread that it can injure tissues and organs instead of only attacking the invader. Inside your body, blood vessels may become too relaxed or too leaky. Fluid can shift out of the bloodstream and into tissues. Blood pressure becomes harder to maintain. The heart tries to compensate by pumping faster. For now, the heart is fighting, but compensation is not victory. It is only borrowed time. On screen, imagine a body status report. Wound, yellow. Temperature, orange. Heart rate, orange. Blood pressure, yellow. Kidneys, yellow. Brain, flickering. That is what makes sepsis terrifying. The body can look alive from the outside while the internal status board changes color, one organ at a time. Your heart beats harder. Your lungs breathe faster. Your kidneys try to filter blood. But the bloodstream is now carrying a body-wide emergency. And the wound may even start to look less important. That is the dark biological trick. The cut was the doorway. The fever was the warning. The bloodstream is the highway. The organs are the target. This is where your century becomes the real villain. In the modern world, doctors may use antibiotics, fluids, blood tests, imaging, oxygen, and intensive monitoring to catch collapse early. But in your world, that rescue chain is missing. No antibiotic arrives in the blood. No sterile operating room waits nearby. No ICU tracks the collapse. No oxygen mask supports your breathing. No dialysis cleans the blood if the kidneys fail. You are not just fighting bacteria. You are fighting biology without backup. Because the fever is not the final monster. The final monster is a loss of control. Your immune system is fighting everywhere at once. Blood vessels that should keep pressure stable may leak fluid or relax too much. Less effective circulation means organs may receive less oxygen and fuel. When delivery starts failing, symptoms can turn strange. You may become confused. That is not fear alone. The brain is extremely sensitive to infection, inflammation, dehydration, poor oxygen delivery, and unstable circulation. The room may feel distant. Voices may blur. You may stop thinking clearly even while people around you are still asking simple questions. Your body is still alive, but the internal command center is struggling. Brain, orange. Kidneys, orange. Blood pressure, red. Lungs, orange. Heart, red, but still fighting. But before that rescue existed, time became the predator. The heart can compensate only for so long. The lungs can speed up only for so long. The kidneys can tolerate poor circulation only for so long. The brain can handle chemical stress only for so long. And the body has no button that says, stop the inflammation here. Once the emergency becomes self-reinforcing, each failing system pressures the next. Poor circulation stresses the kidneys. Kidney stress worsens the internal environment. A worse internal environment strains the heart. A strained heart struggles to maintain circulation. Reduced circulation threatens the brain. The body becomes a collapsing network. Not because the cut was large, because the body is connected. That is how a tiny wound becomes a whole body countdown. And the scariest part is that the surface can lie. The cut may clot. The bleeding may stop. The skin may look less dramatic than the fever feels. Someone may say, at least the wound is closing. But the wound closing outside does not mean the infection is defeated inside. A door can shut after the enemy has already entered. Now your body has to fight room by room. Tissue, blood, vessels, heart, brain, kidneys, lungs. Every system is involved. And there is still no modern rescue coming. No ambulance, no antibiotic, no blood test, no scan, no ICU, no machine that can warn everyone before collapse becomes obvious. Only symptoms, only observation, only the human body trying to survive with the tools it was born with. And sometimes the body wins. That matters. This is not a story where every cut is fatal. Medicine varies, infection varies, people vary. Some wounds heal, some immune systems contain the threat. But before antibiotics, before modern sterile care, before ICU support, the margin for error was brutally smaller. A simple cut could become a skin infection. A skin infection could spread into deeper tissue. A deeper infection could reach the bloodstream. A bloodstream crisis could become sepsis. Sepsis could become shock. Shock could lead to organ failure. That is not superstition. That is human physiology under historical conditions. Same skin, same immune cells, same fever response, same heart, same organs, different century, different rescue. But before modern survival, the chain could keep moving. Cut, inflammation, fever, bloodstream, sepsis, shock, organ failure, silence. And that is the brutal truth of Phase 6. For most of human history, the human body was not weak. It was simply alone. A tiny cut did not have to kill because it was big. It could kill because it opened a door, started a clock, and trapped you in a century where the rescue that could stop the countdown had not arrived yet. Tap and subscribe to the channel for more such interesting videos.